Black bears will easily prey on the young elk and mule deer. You know, it helps to take care of some of that population to keep it in check. I'm Andy Slade, pro staff with MDT. Unbelievably awesome adventure. Glad the weather's still nice, you know, we're really enjoying it. Adventures are awesome. Get out there and do some adventure. On this hunt, we'll be joined by my friend Rich. He lives on the eastern United States as well, so we were able to jump in together and road trip. After about a 32 to 34 hour trip across the United States, we arrived in Idaho and realized that the place we were supposed to be hunting was completely snowed in. So we decided to go talk to a few different of the local people. We stopped in to get some ice, and the gas station clerk told us about a place that was known for having bear. So we decided to go down. We got on that road and got all the way to the top. We decided that we should probably try to find some spots to glass. The weather was pretty bad, but instead of wasting that time, we figured that, you know, we could use that time to try to find good places to hunt from for the next day. One of the cool things about Idaho is it's known for having all of the big predators that the United States has to offer. There are bears, mountain lions, wolves, coyotes, bobcats, which makes the adventure pretty freaking cool. This is what you gotta love about Idaho. Cat right here where we're walking. So I can promise that's not a house cat. So as we traveled up the mountain, we hadn't really seen much of anything, and we came to this place up on top of the mountain and we got to see our first bear tracks. So these are not real fresh, but see how wide they are, and you can see the claws. Like 99% sure these are bear tracks here. So nice and wide, and you can see each claw going down in. So there are some people tracks too, which hopefully they weren't following each other, but I don't know, we'll see. So when these tracks are in the snow, it's really hard to tell how fresh they are. You don't really know what the weather conditions have been or when the snow was, even when it snowed last. So we decided to follow them for a while because they were going down the same trail we were going down, but the thick brush and the deep snow made it very tough. Main thing is just being able to see. Like right here, we can't see anything, so you need to be able to have a place to glass. Can't see them, you can't hunt them. When faced with situations like this, it's really tough to make good decisions because we didn't have a ton of information, but we knew we were at was not going to work. So Rich and I got together and started looking at the maps. So where we are is like 6,800 feet. And the snow line that we found up top was about 5,800 feet. So I think what the plan's gonna be is to move tomorrow across to another area of national forest that the tops of the mountains are at about 5,500 feet. So with this one, they're about a little over 7. So hopefully by going over there, we're gonna be able to get into a little bit better spot.
Tomorrow should be good. We got beautiful sky, gonna set up in the sun and then go hunt the evening and hopefully shoot 2 bears.
So after a couple spots that we were trying to go to were snowed in, we found a spot. We got a tip from a local guy that said there's a bunch of bear up here on this side of the mountain. Road's clear, so we got the truck up to elevation and we're unpacking our gear and we're gonna get our optics out and start glassing. So first actual hunting day today. Starting to run into a little bit of snow here. Hopefully that's kind of, you know, something short-lived, but we're looking forward to it. We're optimistic. Hopefully we'll find some good spots to hunt from.
It's a predator track, one nature. I don't think it's a dog. Not a coyote. But not a bear either.
This might be interesting to some people. So this is 5.88 mils to 1,000 because of the elevation up here. So less than 6 mils to 1,000 with this rifle. We got to a spot where we could really see some nice green hillsides, multiple glassing opportunities, and we were able to actually sit down and glass. During the middle of the day, we got to a point to where I didn't feel like the bears were going to be really active, so we decided to go ahead and move up and look around and just do some basic scouting. Fecal matter, scat, if you will. Could be one of us. Never know. I think that's 2 different ones. That looks like 2 different times. So after a while of scouting, we decided that the area that we had started glassing earlier was probably going to be our best bet. We weren't able to locate where that bear went, so what we did was we decided to come back here. It's getting a little late in the day. We've got good visibility at this spot, so we're just going to continue to glass here until the end of the day, and then if we don't see anything today, we're just going to go further down the trail tomorrow. So still good to go, still got plenty of places to hunt, and still really hopeful. It's awesome out here, absolutely beautiful. Animals everywhere. If we were seeing the bears in the meadows that we were glassing, it wouldn't be the same bear that was on top of the mountain. So I decided to go back and glass the areas that we could see from the trail going back towards the truck. Dude, isn't this since we've been coming through here? Look how big that bear track is right there. Front foot. I'm sure we would have seen that when we came through, right? Like, we should have just sat right here. What was cool about this trip is the area that we were in Idaho was the exact place that the Lewis and Clark expedition went through. So the Nez Perce Indians actually helped the Lewis and Clark expedition by giving them guides on horseback to get through the mountains and the wilderness there. So they took the Missouri River all the way down to the Yellowstone, and then the Nez Perce Indians helped them across the same mountains that we were hunting in, which was a super cool part of this trip. In the morning, we kept going on down the trail. We stayed with the plan from the day before. We were really hoping to see some good bear sign. I'm not a poo-poo expert, but that's something that eats other things. So out there at like 1300, there's a mule deer walking across, and it just looks like a little dot with the naked eye. It's awesome to have this much of a view. I think what we'll do is kind of glass these spots as we go by them, and when we go around this turn, I'm hoping we're going to be seeing a real nice south-facing slope. Hopefully it'll have a bunch of green up on it. It's what it looks like on the imagery, but you just don't know till you get there, so hopefully we'll be able to find a good place to glass and see some stuff. But we're definitely going to be glassing these spots as we go through because we don't want to miss anything. So look. How about that? Pretty cool right there. So we're on top of the hill we were looking at yesterday. A lot of fresh onion growth and real green. So be a perfect habitat, but haven't seen any bear sign on top yet, so it's all right. What we're hoping for is to be able to catch some visibility onto the other hillsides while we're kind of walking through here. So if we incidentally run up on a bear close, that's fine, and hopefully we'll be able to find somewhere we can get another glassing spot. So if they're not there, you can't kill them. So we're just looking for sign and trying to make sure we're hunting the right spots. So that's where we're at right now. Well, we can at least say that we've seen a bear now. There's a grassy ridge straight north of us. It's really far away, and I'm not even sure it's on public land, so we're gonna have to dig into the GPS and see, but first bear we've seen since we've been in Idaho. So we've seen our first bear. The only problem is it's 5 miles away. So we've got to make a decision as to whether or not we're going to stay here and hunt the fields that we have, or if we're going to move and go to where we know that there's an animal. One of the reasons that I would consider moving is it's a lot lower in elevation, so I'm wondering if maybe, they're being more active right now where they're at lower elevation. So I don't know. That's part of the game, though, is trying to make those decisions, and I don't think there's necessarily a right or a wrong way to do it, but we've just got to figure out what it is. So anyway, we're gonna make that decision here soon, and I guess you'll see what happens.
What time of day is it?
It's 3 o'clock. 3:45.
Yeah, 3:46.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got enough time. Move down and kill it.
All right, we'll do what we can.
Let me know how it goes.
All right, love you, Dad.
Love you too.
So after talking to my dad, we decided that we were going to pack everything up and try to get as close as we could to the bear that we'd seen.
Two more. Okay.
No matter how close we tried to get, we would either get stuck by private lands or snowed in roads. We decided to camp that night and visit the ranger station in the morning to try to get some advice. My dad has helped out the wildlife department here in Virginia for a long time with bear problems. And one of the things that he had told me is that if we had trouble locating bears, to talk to the local wildlife officials or the park rangers, because they would undoubtedly have information on where the bears were operating. They get the calls from the local people, they get the calls from the campers that the bears are going into their tent. So when we were having some trouble trying to figure out where to hunt, that was the first thing that popped into my mind was, okay, well, let's just go ask for help. So we tried the first place they suggested, but unfortunately we ran into more dead ends. We decided to try another place that they had showed us on the map, and as we got to the place, it seemed like it was going to be perfect. It was lower in elevation, it was closer to the river, and there was no snow, which was a welcome feature because up until that point, everywhere we tried was just absolutely snow-locked. So we packed our bags, decided to start up the trail and see if we could find some good glassing spots and somewhere to find that key terrain that the bears like.
either somebody's got a German Shepherd sized dog or maybe some wolves, who knows. This is where the trail splits. I'm gonna go up here and see if, I know this isn't the normal trail, but I'm gonna go up here and see if this just ties back into it, and if so, we can just, I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, it just goes right around the trails. Basically, this is supposed to be the trail right here, but the water's just crossing it. So this goes around like maybe 40 feet and meets the trail again and goes on. This is the only sketchy part, like where I really think it's sketchy. So,
Well, I'll take it slow.
and I'll carry your pack across it if you want.
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
It didn't take long before we saw our first bear sign on this trail.
So I'm not sure what animal's been doing it. I can only imagine it's a bear, but they're, like you can look at the other one there, is still nice and square. This one has been gnawed off and there's hair all in it. So pretty neat to see. Also, this is an old bridge here. It's all wood construction, which is pretty cool. Coolest trail I've ever been on.
So at this point, Rich and I talked about it, and we decided to continue up the mountain, and he was going to hunt in a different place. So we went ahead and started up that steep single track trail that was leading up towards the top of the mountain.
Hair, can't tell what kind, but something got tore apart. So bears like to eat little live things, so hopefully that's an indicator we're heading in the right direction.
After hiking up a few thousand feet in elevation, a storm started to come in.
We're just kind of letting this wind come over so it don't blow us off the face. Well, we've gotten to, I guess, about 5,000 feet and started out at about 2,000, and we were on the way to 6,600, and looks like we've got a storm coming in. So the plan right now is we're going to go back down in the bottom, and there's some visibility down there, and hopefully we'll be able to find a good spot to camp and spend the night down in the bottom, protected from whatever's coming up the top of the mountain. We're just scouting the spot. Nice looking place. Saw some bear scat back there. Not bad. It kind of looked intentionally placed, didn't it? We went up to the top. We decided to come down because the storm was getting pretty bad. There was a lot of wind and rain, so we headed down the mountain. Rich had decided to check another path. He took a different path than we took, and when we got back, apparently he must have decided to go somewhere else, which is fine because we decided we were going to meet back up in 2 days. So we got back here. It was pouring down rain, so we all set up the tent, got it ready to go. We got food cooking, got some water purified, and we are topped off on water and loving life.
In the morning, we headed back up to where we saw that pool with the hair on it and decided that that's where we were going to set up our tent and blast from there.
We knew the spot was here, so we came on back. Got a beautiful place, sun's coming out. We got the tent set up so it'll be drying out because it rained all night last night. And really hopeful. We got 2 days left, so we're gonna stay the night here tonight, and hopefully all will be good. Either way, what an unbelievably awesome adventure. Glad the weather's still nice, you know, we're really enjoying it. Adventures are awesome. Get out there and do some adventure. So the snow's kind of calmed down a little bit. Blue sky's coming out, and there's 7 elk right here at this ridge line. So we stopped and talked to the lady at the ranger station, and she was saying that one of the main things that's happening this time of year is that the black bear follow these elk herds and they prey on the sick and the babies. So we'll be definitely keeping an eye out here because they're not too far away. They're only, let's see, about 800 yards. So I would think that the black bear is probably close behind them. So there's another group of elk on the closer hill here. So now we've counted 25 individual elk. Still only one bear from 5 miles away, but 25 elk is a little bit closer to a bear close. So I know the objective is to kill a bear, but this made my day right here, dude. Getting to see 25 elk, that's pretty cool. So we got a bear over here on the hillside. I don't have a shot right now, but at least we got one to look at. He's working his way up. Can you go get my gun? I know you're videoing, but I just gotta find him again. I've lost him. Damn it. Just keep looking around, man. We're gonna try to stay
As
on.
the bear moved while we were trying to get our gear together to make a shot, it just got to the point to where we weren't able to figure out exactly where the bears went. So we moved down, tried to get a different angle, but the river in the bottom had the snow melt coming from about 7,000 feet down to the 2,000 feet that we were at, and it was like water running through a gutter. So unfortunately, we weren't able to move around and try to get another angle on the bears, and they just slipped out through our fingers. Most people, when they are talking about an adventure such as this, the first thing they ask is if you were successful. Well, of course we were successful. We were able to go and see some of God's creation that very few people have ever seen. It was successful because even though we weren't able to bring an animal back to the truck, we were able to find an area to hunt for coming years. It was successful because we love going out into the wilderness, being able to carry our rifles, being able to carry our gear and try out new things and enjoy new experiences. It may not have been exactly a success by some people's measure, but by ours, it was unbelievably successful, and we look forward to doing it again next year.